Hey everybody out there in Flosstube world, this is Vicki, the Virginia Stitcher, coming to you with my next Flosstube video with my check-in of what I've been up to cross-stitching wise in the last 2 weeks. I've done a little bit of stuff. I always feel like I didn't really stitch as much as I wanted to. I guess because if I could stitch as much as I wanted to, I'd probably do it all day long, and there's things I have to do in life. So unfortunately I can't stitch all day, but in a perfect world, you would be able to sit and just have fun all day long. First of all, I want to welcome everybody. Of course, again, I'm looking down at notes so I can keep myself on track. If I don't, I go all over the place, just like I do with my stitching. So, but welcome to everybody. I hope you've had a fun, productive, happy stitching last couple of weeks yourselves. So I hope everybody's been healthy and happy and doing well. What I wanted to do was give you a life update. Not much going on. The only thing I have been doing besides stitching, the big main thing I've done this past week, is I have been painting inside my house. I have painted my dining room, my foyer, the hallways, I've painted a little bit in my living room area. I need to finish that. I have areas on the ceiling I'm going to paint. I got to paint the kitchen. Our house is an open concept. So once you paint one area, you kind of have to do it all. And it flows from our foyer, our front entry, into the dining room, kitchen, living area. It's a big space. So I've been chunking away at that because my knees and I've been having problems with my left knee. And I have had lower back issues for ages. And I had a really bad neck injury probably about 15, 16 years ago, where the doctor was really surprised I didn't break my neck. But I had taken a bad fall. So I constantly have problems with my neck. I have problems with my lower back. I've been recently this past month having problems with my left knee. So I've been taking it easy with the painting. I've been doing little bits at a time. It's just something, the older you get, the slower things go. But the one good thing is I have the time to do it. So I've been chunking away at it a little here and there. So I've been painting in the house, just kind of doing a neutral color. Eventually, probably my hope is the next spring, get down here in the basement and I want to paint my craft room and our big family room we have down here. So that's all that's been up lately with me. And besides stitching and just regular life things. So hold on, my phone is ringing on me. So I turned the ringer off, but it still buzzes and it makes it annoys me, and I'm afraid you guys can hear it. So anyways, I have some whips to show you, things that I have been working on the last couple of weeks, and I'm fiddling with my pen. I don't know if you can hear me do that. So I have tried to organize myself. I have a bin, a big bag with a couple of my Halloween projects in it, and I have a big bin with the whips that I've been working on this week, or the last 2 weeks, I should say. So I'll start out. The first one here is my Prairie Schooler Santa. And yesterday and the day before, the weather was just gorgeous outside. And we're finally getting the fall weather here, and I'm just loving it. So I was sitting out on our back porch the last couple of days and stitching. And everything that I needed for my project fit in this bag, on the hoop and on my Q-snap and everything. So I just took this out on the porch and I was working on it. And this is my Prairie Schooler Santa. This is the 2021 Prairie Schooler Santa. And I'm stitching this one on an 18 count country. I thought I would just remember. Know it right off the top of my head. 18 count, the mocha color. And this is on the Ada. So I was able to get last time you saw it, I had all of this. I had the half of the face of the little raccoon done and then his front couple of paws. But I was missing this big chunk right here and his tail, and I needed to finish the quail and Santa's hands and stuff. So I was able to do that sitting out on the back porch last couple of days. So I was having fun with this one. Of course, he still needs a head. It's kind of creepy because he's headless right now. So there is the snowy owl that he's holding in this hand. I got the little feet for the snowy owl. And this is vintage country mocha. I'm sorry, it just came to me. Sometimes things just go out of my head when I turn on the video and I have to search for the words. So this is being stitched on 18 count vintage country mocha. And I'm not going to stitch, I don't believe I will. This little outline is just a little dot to dot and the words winter woods. I'm not going to stitch that. So I still need to stitch in the owl, the little bits of back stitching that are here, and Santa's head. So I should be able to have a finish on this when I check in with you guys next time, which I believe will be around the beginning of November. Will be 2 weeks. It's hard to believe it'll almost be November. Then we're getting into the holiday season. But that is my Prairie Schooler Santa. So that was my first whip that I worked on. Like I said, just the last couple of days, sitting outside for a couple of hours each day, and I was just stitching and enjoying the weather, sitting out there with my 2 little dogs. So where am I going to put this? How about down here? The next one was my Modern Folk Embroidery piece, the 2021 Stitch Along. Thought I put the whole thing in here. Oh yeah, fell down in the basket. And it's by, like I said, Modern Folk Embroidery. I feel like I'm really repeating myself. I'm sorry. By Jacob. And this is the 2021 Stitch Along that looks like this. And I have been just working on the January section. And when you last saw it, I just had the kind of the border area of that square done. And I wanted to get in and start working on the middle part, which I did. I worked on this maybe about 3 days. And I was able to get the berry and the baskets stitched in. So I'm stitching this one on an off-white 16 count Aida. So it's just a simple off-white Aida. It's not any overdyed or anything. And I'm using 2 DMC's threads. I wanted to do the teal colors. My living room has some teal in it. So I'm hoping when I finish it that my plan is to hang it in the living room. And the 2 colors that I'm using, let me pull one of each for you, are these 2 DMCs here. So I am using 3808 for the darker color and 597 for the lighter color. And these are my 2 colors for this piece. So, and I really think these go well together. And like I said before, I just have them, all the extra in a sandwich bag, in my project bag. As I need them, I pull out the next skein, which, because I have been using my first skeins, I am getting really low on these 2. So I'll be pulling out another, that's my first skein of those colors that I'll have used up. So that's where I am on this one. And I'm hoping the next time when I check in with you guys, that I will have this square completely finished. And I forgot I was going to scoot over and try to hold my stuff over to this side so that you're not getting the reflections from the window. I noticed in my last video there were reflections. I'm trying to get better and better as my videos go along. I'm hoping that I'm figuring out my mistakes and correcting them. I'm hoping. The next whip is Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. So it looks like this. And last time I had showed it to you guys, I had originally already had this top border done and this little bit of the moon up here with this bat just above the cat right here, just kind of in this area. So the last time I showed it to you, I had done and finished the cat, the black silhouette of the cat. And so I was working on it last night just for a few hours while I was watching some TV, and I was able to fill in a little bit more of the moon under the cat. And I still have my thread, because hopefully I'll get in there and I will work on this some more. So hopefully that's coming out good for you guys. And I am stitching this one. Did I not? Oh yeah, I did tell you what I was stitching the other one with. I'm tired from all the painting I've been doing this past week. This one is being stitched on 16 count Aida in the color Storm by Picture This Plus. And I am using my own pick of overdyes. And I know that this moon color that I picked out, I know it's a little yellow, but I kind of like it that way. And that one is for the moon, I picked out Weeks Dye Works Yukon Gold. Has just a slight variation in it, not a whole lot. So I'm using the Yukon Gold for the moon, because I thought it would really look nice on this blue fabric. And the moon, I thought it would show up better than a white kind of color. I didn't want the moon to be white. I wanted it to be yellow and kind of pop off that black cat a little bit. So that was my reasoning for that. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. The next whip is my, let me go here into this Garan, the large Garan totem bag. That's the witch bag that I have. This one houses 2 of my Halloween pieces. And the first one I was working on out of this bag was Bellatrix by Bella Filipina. And it looks like this. Let me see if I can make sure there's no glare. And what I had done on this one previously was I had started up here in the corner, and I did all of the cross stitching that's up here. There is some Krynic, some metallic threads, and some beads. I'd already done this flame that she's holding, this ball of fire, and I had started and had done a lot of this archway also. And there is some beading in this one that I haven't done. I saved my beading for last. So I did a corner start on this one when I started, since it had a border, and then just worked my way across to this kind of a window that she's looking out of. And so this week I was able to pick her up in the last couple of weeks and work on her. So I got some start on her. And this one is being stitched on, let me find the piece of paper for this one. This one is a 16 count Aida. I do know that. I'm trying to find the color that I'm stitching her in. She is being stitched on, it's a mystery. I got a question mark. So I might have used this one originally. Maybe I was going to put it on something else and then change my mind. And had already taken the sticker or the tag off that told you what color it was. But I was able to work on her. This is where I am so far. It's not working I like to be on this side. I don't know why. But this is where I am on her. And so when I came in this past, I think I worked on her for 2 or 3 days. Probably about 3 days. And I was able to get this side of her hair, her skin, for her décolleté and her face. I haven't done the back stitching or her lips, eyes, eyebrows. She has, I believe, some makeup on, that's some metallic stitches on her eyelid. And then I did some of the purple sash that's on her shoulder. So this is what she'll look like. So I did this part of the hair over here. She still has this long flowing hair. She has like beads that'll go around her décolleté part of her dress, and of course a bunch of beads on her hips here. But I had worked some on this purple and her hair over here in the skin. And that's what I was able to get done this past couple of weeks on her. I think, like I said, I pulled her out and worked on her about 3 days. And when I was done painting for the day, I would, you know, stitch for a couple hours in the evening and worked on her. And the other piece, the other Halloween piece that's in this bag is by Glendon Place, and it is, I'm going to stick this back in here so I don't have too much of a mess. Glendon Place, and this is Sleepy Hollow. And it looks like this, and I had some of the back end of the horse stitched in before when I pulled this back up and started working on it. And I worked on it a couple of mornings. In fact, I was working on it this morning. So it's still in its Q-snap. And I was able to fill in the rest of, I was missing some of the hoof back here, was not filled in. Some of the gray parts back here in the horse and on its underbelly. And then I have the rider, I was able to put in the rider's, the Headless Horseman's boot and part of his pant leg and all of this part of the horse. And there's a little krynic that's used for the stirrup. I don't know if that's picking up any of that shine. I have not done any of the back stitching. That'll help bring out more of the detail. I'm waiting until I've stitched everything around, and then I might start doing some back stitching. But this was the end of the page. This was the end of the page at the top and the other side of my page. So I just kind of worked and did the horse and the rider up to that point. So I think the horse, because I did a center start on this one, and this one is being stitched on 16 count. Let me see if I can find the paper for this one. This one is the called for. I know it's the called for, but it's they call for a linen, and this is, I'm doing it on 16 count Aida in the color Haunted. So this is Haunted by Picture This Plus. And that's what Haunted looks like. That's very good representation. It's really pretty. I love it. Love it, love it. So what I did was a center start on this one, which was about right here. So I started here and kind of worked my way over. So if you notice, the tail kind of ends here. So I still need to finish the ends of the tail that are on another page. And then it kind of ended, you know, just starting with the bottom part of his leg and his boot. So the horse and the rest of the body of the Headless Horseman are on a bunch of different pages. I think there's a little bit on a page here for this part. This part's on a page. The back of his tail's on a page. So I've got probably 4 different pages this horse is on. So I was able to get at least that page worth finished. And that's what I've done on that one. Let me put all this back in here so I can keep myself straight. And the next whip is my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow that I've been working on. Get its project bag. And it looks like this. And I have been working on this top block, and my goal is to at least get that finished this month, that top block. And I am doing this one on not a called for, not even close to the called for, because if you notice, this is kind of a tannish background fabric. And I am actually using, I don't know what I must have lost all of my, I don't see the sheet for this one. This one is 16 count Aida in the color J, J-A-Y, by Picture This Plus. And this is, I was able to, I had the cemetery, this building, these 2 ghosts, and the moon done last time. So I was able to come in, do these couple of bats, the words. This is the body of a spider. I just haven't backstitched his legs on yet. because there is going to be a spider web that he's hanging from. And there's another spider web over here in this corner. And there's back stitching for slats in this house. And some French knots for the bat eyes and the spider eyes. But I was able to do all of this right here. So fill in the words, the bats, and the skeleton. I think I had one arm of the skeleton done last time. So that's where I got on this one. Like I said, this one is done on 16 count, Picture This Plus, Ada in the color J, J-A-Y, which is kind of a purpley blue color. And I love the color. I feel like the oranges and the golds are going to really pop on this color fabric, and just wanted to switch it up and do that. I am doing the called for DMCs though on this piece. So I am using the called for flosses, but I'm using a different colorway for my fabric. Then my next piece takes me into a category like I had last time, and that is a New Start whip haul. So this was a piece that I had ordered and got in this week, and as soon as I got it in, I had to run to Joann's, that's not too far from my house, and pick up the DMC colors. And I did switch my DMC colors around a little bit, and picked a few different ones. But this is Map of Hawk Run Hollow. And so I've started another Hawk Run. I started up here in this upper left-hand corner because it has a defined border. So if it has a defined border, I usually start in the upper left-hand corner. If it does not, I start in the center. So, and the Sleepy Hollow, when I was reading the directions, she recommended starting in the middle. So I went ahead and started in the middle on that one. But this one, I'm starting up in this upper left-hand corner. And this one is being stitched on 16 count Picture This Plus in the color way Heartland. And I was able to get this far. I was enjoying this so much that I worked on this for 4 days. I couldn't put it down. I just kept working on it. I said, you know, I'm enjoying it. I'm just going to keep stitching on it. So I was able to, first I came in and I did this border, you know, across to, it ends here at the first page. And then come down and start working on this hawk. Now this hawk is quite large. So I'm still filling it in. I still have, that's this color on my needle, is this color of brown that he's being filled in with. So I was able to get all of the rest of his face done and his outlining. So I could just come in here and fill in all of this brown. And this same color brown is used for these tree trunks on these trees that are in the upper corner of this map. So that's these tree trunks right here, so that I can come in and start filling in the green. But he pretty much is the border for this whole side of the design. His wingspan, I'm only got to here and I'm filling this in, but his wing spans all the way down to the bottom corner. But I am loving this piece, and just loving this fabric that I picked for it. Like I said, this is Heartland. You can see that it's got some light mottling in it, because I thought I wanted it to look like an old map, an old weathered map a little bit, but not too grungy. So I picked this one out of my stash to start this piece on. And like I said, I did switch up some of the colors. Oop, fell off my needle minder. So I did it right there in Joann's. I took the pattern with me, and then I just was like, the color they called for the water was a really light bluey green color. I think it was 927, I want to say. Where is it? I don't know which color it was. But I switched up the color for the water for a darker blue, a brighter blue. I just wanted the water to be just not so pale and washed out. It actually even looks bluer here on the picture than it does the floss color when I looked at it at the store. And I think I picked out a couple of the green colors were very, very close to each other. And I wanted my green colors to look different and not all the same. So that, oh, I think I was working on it, so I don't have my flosses right here with me. So I picked 3 coordinating green colors. I think one of them is the green that's called for, but then I switched and picked different green and a few things like that. So, whoop, that's the pattern. Picky. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping to get a lot more done up here in the corner before I put this away for a little while, because I do have other projects to work on. So that was where I had gotten on that one. Like I said, that was part of my haul. So that takes me into my next segment of my video, and that is my haul. So because no project, no chart can travel alone, when I ordered that one, I had also ordered, and I blame this one on, I was watching Janet Jabber, her Flosstube channel, and she's been working on the Autumn Queen from Mirabilia. And I have Royal Holiday, which is like the Christmas Queen from Mirabilia, and I have, I think I have another one. Oh, the Winter Queen. So I went and I ordered the Autumn Queen. You can get her on Etsy for like $70 or $80, and I'm just not gonna, I don't have her and I'm not gonna pay that price for her. But I went and got the Summer Queen. I thought she was really pretty. So I had the winter, the summer, and the holiday one. So I ordered her, and while I was at it, I went ahead and ordered her beads and her flosses, so that when I'm ready to work on her, I just have to have a fabric. You know, I can look in my stash or order something, and I'll be ready to start working on her. Because I believe I had said this in a previous video. One of the things I have learned about patterns like the Mirabilias in particular are, one, like I said, the Autumn Queen is no longer in print. You can't find her in stores as far as I could tell. I looked around, I couldn't find her. The only place she showed up when I looked her up online was on places like Etsy, where people were selling them for, you know, like 5 times the cost of what they normally would be. I think this one was like around $15, $16 for this chart. And like I said, they're selling for around $70, $80 is what I saw for the Autumn Queen. So when she goes out of print, if you see any Mirabilias or their one company in particular, that if you see any that you really like, but you're thinking, oh, I don't have time to stitch it right now or whatever, but you really like it, I suggest not sitting around and waiting too long, because if you do, you're going to find that they go out of print and then you have to pay an arm and a leg to get it, or you just don't get it. And and also with the beads, I'm always afraid that any of the specialty things might not be being made anymore. So I always like to, she's charted with just DMC, but I went ahead and got them because the 1-2-3 Stitch sells them for the same price I can get them in the store. And then I don't have to stand there trying to find each and every color. I just say add to cart, and it's add all to cart, and they'll put them all in there. They do have her charted with a linen, so I'll just deselect the linen because I don't stitch on linen, but I did get all of the rest of the items for her. Because I did have a lavender and lace pattern that I had, that the specialty thread that she had in her, it was one of the Celtic ladies. I think it was Celtic Summer. They don't make it anymore, make that brand of floss. So now I have to figure out a plan B for her when I do want to stitch her. So that's why I do that. I go ahead and get the specialty things with that. So I got those 2 charts. And then I was on Etsy again. And I had some Victorian motto threads from, I don't know, about a year ago. I ordered one of their grab boxes because I was trying to get a supply of overdyed threads, and Victorian Motto sells theirs in 20-yard flosses. So when you think about it, a regular overdyed floss is usually about 5 yards for Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks and things like that. They come 5 yards on a skein. Well, theirs are 20 for not that much. They're very reasonably priced. And I know for a while there, over this past year, they were having a problem getting orders out to people. But now she has switched how she's handling her shop. She's got an Etsy shop now. And I ordered 3 different packs of flosses off of her Etsy shop. They shipped out the next day, and I had them about 4 days after that, 3 or 4 days later. So I didn't have a problem with getting them. I didn't have a problem with getting my grab bag that I got from her about a year ago. So I don't know if I just lucked out. I just had heard a bunch of people complaining about that. So I ordered 3 different of her collections that I thought the colors were pretty. And the first one is the Vermont Autumn in Vermont series. And so I ordered these. I think these are all the Vermont. I took them out of the bags. And hopefully I didn't mess them up too much. And it has all these beautiful autumnal colors. So this one is Vermont Red Maple. And like I said, they're 20 yards, so you get plenty on a skein. This one is Vermont Haystacks. This one is Autumn Bronze. I'm not sure. This one might have been in my other fall pack. Golden Leaves. This one is Vermont Sugar Maple. So you can see there's a little bit of variation from orange to gold, like a light, soft gold in that one. Vermont Pumpkins. This one is Vermont October Glory. And this one is Vermont Autumn Leaves. So you can see there's slight variegation in some of them. Then this one has a collection of, what one was this one? This, I believe, was the September Primitive Floss Club collection pack. But I ordered it off of Etsy. And we have Rare Orchid and Old Cape Cod. Isn't that pretty? Cobblestone Moss. Beautiful mossy green. This one is Ghost Town, and I need my glasses on. I try not to wear my glasses because I know they reflect, but Ghost Town Brown is this one. So that's a really nice light brown color. Woodsy Acorn. Sage Dust. So it's just a slight green tint to it. Rum Raisins. Waves of Blue. Green Apple. Prim Maple Leaves. Peach Expression. See the pretty variegation there. And Autumn Pines. It's a beautiful green color. And then the last collection that I got, this one is the Antique Dried Flowers collection. And so they look like this all together. So they have Antique Dried Everlasting, which is a nice kind of taupey color. Antique Dried Roses. This one is Antique Dried Larkspur. Antique Dried Chrysanthemum. Antique Dried Bluebonnets. We have Antique Dried Marigolds. Antique Dried Rose Leaves. Antique Dried Winter Rose. Kind of a silvery greenish color. Antique Dried Dahlia. And Antique Dried Delphinium. Antique Dried Golden Yarrow. And the last one is Antique Dried Hydrangea, which is like a really dusty light plum color. Really pretty. So that adds a lot to my Victorian motto stash of flosses, because I have used quite a bit of them in kitting up other projects. So I was really happy to get those. So that's my haul. And then the next thing that I wanted to do is my giveaway. I had told you guys for my 2,000, reaching 2,000 subscribers, thanks to you all, I wanted to give away a couple of things, 2 things for 2,000. And one was my the Nora Corbett Luna from her Bewitching Pixies series. And the other giveaway was a project bag that I had made using Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial that she did a while back. If you go to her Flosstube channel, Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, she has a couple of different bag tutorials. And this was the one for a front zippered bag. So I said for Luna, for the comment, in your comment on my last video, Flosstube 13, to say the word Luna. So I am going to use the random comment picker for Flosstube, for YouTube, and put in the word moon. Okay. And I am going to hit start. Start. Why is it not working? Did it? I don't know why it doesn't want to work. Of course it doesn't want to work. All right. Hold please while I go back to that Flosstube, and maybe I have to recopy the link. So it was my last one. Copy the link. Not letting me paste. Wait a minute. Sorry, everybody. Let me delete out what's in there. Maybe that's before I could just hit paste and go straight in. Okay, the word moon. Okay, get the comments, and there are 89 different comments with the word moon. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but I'm going to hit start. And the winner of Luna is Bonnie Sheffer. Bonnie Sheffer. Scheffer. And Bonnie said, I've enjoyed your videos and you have so much going on all at once. I don't know how you keep it straight, girl, but I would love to win the bag. I keep seeing them all over on different YouTubes and I would love to stitch the moon. So Bonnie, you have won Luna. I will comment on your comment, and if you could email me with your address so that your mailing address so that I could send this out to you. I will do that, and I will put my email in the description box below. So congratulations, Bonnie. And let me write that down, because if I don't, Bonnie, I will completely forget. Okay, and then for the project bag, it is the word bag. So let me switch out moon for the word bag, B-A-G, and get the comments. And there were 151 comments with the word bag. So I'm going to hit start. Let me pull it up here and hit start. And it is Tammy Ayerman. Tammy, I hope I'm saying your last name right, Ayerman, A-Y-E-R-M-A-N. You have won the project bag. So same thing, I will comment on your video, letting you know that you've won the bag. If you could get back with me and get me your address. I will have my email address listed below, which is the va.stitcher@aol.com. So, so it's the VA as Virginia, Victor Alpha, Stitcher at gmail.com. I'm sorry, gmail.com. I think I said AOL. The Virginia Stitcher at gmail.com. I am like all over the place today. You'd think I'd never done a video before. I am so off kilter today. I don't know why. As the dogs are being quiet, the one's sleeping down here. And she's been having a fit all day long because there's guys working in a common area out past our backyard, and it's driving her crazy to hear these guys back there with equipment. But I think it's part of the neighborhood. It's a common area, and they're cleaning up from all the construction work that I moved in this house it was last summer, back last July. So they've been building houses all around our house, and now they're finally finishing up. So they're cleaning up a lot of the garbage that was left back in this common area. So they've been back there with buckhoes and bobcats and all kinds of equipment trying to clean it up, and it looks like they're spreading dirt around and maybe trying to plant some grass or something to kind of fill in this weedy area that they left a bunch of silt fences for construction and things like that. So so those are the giveaways. Congratulations. I thank all of you guys for subscribing, watching, viewing my channel, commenting on it, sending such sweet comments. I really, really do enjoy your comments. I read each and every one, and it's so heartwarming and it's so sweet. And if there's a question on a comment, I really do try to answer them back. I think I have answered them all back. As far as I know, I've caught every comment and answered any questions. So, you know, I try to keep up with that because I just love connecting with you guys and everything. And I do want to let you know that I'm wearing my StitchCon from 2021 shirt. I didn't get this till after StitchCon. I was too late to the game to get one ordered before. But this came in, I don't know, a couple of months ago, but it's a long sleeved and we were having 80, 90 degree weather. So it was a little bit too warm to wear it. But I got the one with the little, I don't know what the style is, what you call it, but it has a little pocket here, little pouch, and kind of a raggy neckline kind of thing. but it has the StitchCon logo, and I am going to be going to StitchCon Weekend B again this next year in 2022. So I'm looking so forward to that. And any of you that are coming to Weekend B, come by and say hi to me when you know, I'm sitting at my table or wherever, you know, because I would love to meet you guys. I would love to meet each and every one of you in person. So but I know that's not always possible. We're so spread out. I know there's people in other countries and things like that, but how wonderful that we can connect through Flosstube. So I think the other thing that I wanted to go over with you guys were my plans. Like, you know, my plans are usually fluid. I don't try to plan too much because I'm not great at planning. But one of the things that I did definitely want to do on November 1st, Jacob, or Jacob is, I think, maybe how you would pronounce it. He's in the Netherlands. He is with Modern Folk Embroidery, is going to start a stitch along on November 1st, and it is called, it's going to be the hashtag, I wrote it down, Black Sampler November. So I have what I would call a black sampler that I've had in my stash for a little while that I've wanted to work on but just haven't gotten around to. I had it all kitted up. It's been sitting in my closet. And so I thought I would start it for the Black Sampler November. Hashtag Black Sampler November that Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery is hosting. So let me get it out of the bag so you guys can see it better. This is A Year of Silhouettes by Joan Elliott. And I have had this, like I said, for a while. And I am going to stitch it in black with black DMC, just the 310. And this one, I would say, it doesn't say it's a sampler, but I would call it a sampler because it has a border, it has an alphabet, and then it has little designs in it. So I'm calling it a black sampler. And I am going to stitch this one on, I had picked I already have some black DMC, and I am going to stitch it on this piece of fabric. This one is the color Charm, and it's 16 count hand-dyed Ada. There's the label. And this piece is just, I think, is going to be really pretty stitched with the black threads over it. Just give it a nice, I'm not sure what side I'm going to use, but it's a good size piece for it. And I was wanting to start it at the beginning of a year and then try to every month, because this, you know, is a January, February, March. Then you've got some alphabet, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. But if I actually, for me, it's probably better if I get a head start and I start in November, because if I can at least get this first block done, I am not going to guarantee that I'll get it all done in the year, but if I can get a head start and I can try to kind of stay caught up with it and get it done in a year, that would be awesome. So we'll see what I can do with that. But like I said, I'm going to do it on this 16 count Ada in the color Charm with black thread. I think that's going to look really nice. And I'm looking forward to getting that started because I'm really excited to see what this black thread and this pattern is going to look like on this really pretty kind of dusty rose mottled piece of fabric, what that's going to look like. Let me sit that with that. The other plans that I have are I want to finish the Fruits of Plenty January block page, which is the bird on the berry bowl. I still need to stitch that. I'd like to get that done, but before I check in with you guys next time. And also the back stitching that I need to do in the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I want to finish that block. All I have to do is do the back stitching and I'll have that one done. And I do participate in the Zoom meetings that Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, she hosts twice a month. I think it's the second and the fourth Thursdays of every month, unless, you know, she for some reason needs to cancel. She hosts a Zoom stitch along for Hawk Run Hollow pieces. I think she did say this last meetup, the Zoom, that she is going to more than likely start Fancy Folk Zoom starting in November. So she said she might take one of her weeks, like the second or the fourth Thursday, and switch that to the Fancy Folk, and still do the Hawk Run Hollow one of the other weeks of the month. So, but she is, there is one scheduled for October 28th at 7 o'clock. So in order to get in her Zooms, and I know they're starting to get, she's getting filled up, and I don't know how many more people she can take, but if you go to her Flosstube, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, and like I said, her name is Pam, and you go in her drop-down box, her description box down below, she usually has the link to a Google sheet you fill out. You answer a couple of questions. She needs your email address, things like that, to email you the link to get into the Zoom stitch along for that one. So I am planning on doing that one on October 28th, and at that Zoom, I'm hoping to get that block finished. So that would be awesome. I was able to get one thing crossed off of my WIPGO this past couple of weeks, and it was number 2, and that was to work 10 hours on Bellatrix. She was the lady that I showed you, and I'd done her face and hair, well, part of her hair and her skin. It was to work 10 hours, and I actually worked probably about 13 hours on her. So, because I'm not a fast stitcher. So I did mark off that block this last couple of weeks. So I'm chugging along. I'm getting there. I'm going to try to get caught up. So we'll see. I still have to do the October. October was 11 and 5. So block 5 and block 11 I have not done yet, and those I write on the back what the goal is for them. Number 5 is to work 10 hours on my Holiday Quaker by Leela Studios. So 10 hours on Holiday Quaker, which is a Christmas piece. So I am going to start getting my Christmas stuff out and probably start working on that. I am so far been only just working on a Prairie School or Santa. But I'm starting to feel like, you know, starting to work on, you know, mixing in with my fall pieces, maybe some Christmas winter pieces. And the other one is number 11 is Hot Cocoa, to work 12 hours on Shannon Christine's Hot Cocoa. And I've showed it to you before, and I haven't worked on Hot Cocoa. And I would like to have Hot Cocoa done by like January, so that I can have that one out. Right now I have Pumpkin Spice that was finished, that I had done a few weeks ago, and I showed you guys on Flosstube, either 11 or 12. Maybe on my 12th Flosstube video, I showed you Pumpkin Spice. Finished that one. That one's up in my dining room. I had finished the ABC Halloween by Jardin Privé, and that one sits down here with just some little sparkly pumpkins. I actually just picked these up at Walmart. I think they were $1 a piece, and I have them displayed there. So I would like to get Hot Cocoa done for January. That would be nice, and we'll see. A lot of times, you know, I remember hearing the question before, are you a process stitcher or a product stitcher? And I used to think, I don't know. I just love to cross stitch. I've never thought about it. But I've come to the realization with me that because I do start all the things, and I just love the stitching, and I love the process of stitching, I like when I get a product finished and I have them displayed, but I love doing the cross stitch pieces. So it doesn't bother me if it takes me, you know, 3 years, 4 years to finish a piece, because I just enjoy the process. So when they get finished, that's nice too. When I can put them out and I can look at them and say, oh wow, look at that beautiful cross stitch. I love that. I love seeing them, but I love, love, love working on them. So it doesn't bother me if it takes me, you know, these Halloween pieces that I have, these pieces I've shown you, some of them might take me 5 years to finish. And that doesn't really bother me. It's not like I feel this need to get them finished. I just want to keep working on them. And I was just watching Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph today, their latest video. And Stephanie said exactly the way I feel about it. She had started, they were doing Starttober. And they were showing all the pieces that they had started at their retreat that they just went to. And I think Stephanie started like 20 and I think Pam started 14. And all they did was put a length of thread in it and call it a start. And Stephanie was saying, you know, some people go, oh my gosh, why are you starting all these things? You know, kind of, and doesn't that just, why? And what she said was the way I feel. Well, why not? It's sitting there. What good is it doing just sitting in your closet? You know, if you want to stitch on it. And since I'm not all that keyed up and I got to get things finished, I want something finished this week or this month, then it doesn't bother me to have 20 things that I might be working on, because when I feel like it, I just pull something out of my stash. So I like having a lot of whips, because if I'm working away at, you know, one of these that I have down here, like I said, I was really enjoying the Hawk Run Hollow map. Well, I worked on it for 4 days straight and didn't switch to anything else. That's kind of unusual for me, because I might be working on something for 2 or 3 days and then I decide I want to work on something else and I kind of pick something else up. Or I might even have a piece that I work on in the morning, like the Prairie Schooler Santa. I was just working on it while I was sitting on the back deck because it was a small little portable project. I could just grab the bag, take it out onto the patio, stitch on it, and then just stuff it back in its little bag and bring it in. Instead of something that might be in a big frame and has a whole box of flosses and things like that. So I like to have travel projects. I like to have a variety of projects. I like to have from easy, simple, what I call comfort stitching pieces, to ones that may be more difficult, like your Mirabilias, like my Summer Queen here. You know, she's not what I would call a simple, easy, she's not hard, but she's going to take time. There's beading in her. There's a lot of switching of threads in here in her gown and things like that. And especially when you get up here to the flowers and things, it's a lot of confetti. But there are times when I enjoy working on things like this and love to see them come into form. I love to see when pieces start to take shape. So that's just me. I don't know. You let me know in the comments if that's how you feel, or if you're, some people get stressed when they have too many. Now, I want to say that I don't want to have too many. I don't want to have so many that I feel like I can't get to any progress on anything. But I probably have, I don't know, maybe about 70 whips. And I love it, each and every one. And each and every one is different. So, and I also find that I'm a seasonal stitcher. So I love to stitch more in the season. And sometimes I might pull something out that's not in the season if I feel like it. Maybe all of a sudden I'll just decide I want to work on a Christmas piece in May, you know. So it's just all what I feel like, because I just want to enjoy what I do. And I do enjoy it. And I used to be more of a monogamous stitcher, but that was more before Flosstube and before the internet and, you know, all of the beautiful patterns. I think there's way more out there than there used to be years ago. And so I would pick, you know, maybe rotate through 2 or 3 different projects. I might start on something and work on it. You know, when I did Lady of the Flag years ago, or the Firefly Fairies over here, I worked on them pretty much monogamously for quite a while. But if I got tired of working on her for a little while, I might have had a little bit more of a simpler project that I would pull up and work on for a little while and then go back to her. But I didn't have 70 whips going. I might have had like 3 or 4 at the most. You know, especially when she got to the beading part, I would bead for a couple of hours and then set her down and work on something else another day, and then bring her back out a week later and bead some more on her. So that I used to stitch more monogamously years ago, but there's just so many beautiful patterns I want to stitch out. All the stuff, don't have time to stitch everything I want to stitch, but I stitch as much as I feel like stitching. So that's just me. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. So my notes, let's see. You let me know what your process is. Are you monogamous? Do you have several whips? Do you have several whips and it's giving you anxiety? You know, because there may be a point that I decide I want to do a no new starts. You know, that could come up sometime in the future. I've been contemplating that. How many whips are too many? Probably I don't want to ever get over 100. That's my thinking right now. Will I get over 100? Maybe. I don't know. So it's all fluid. I love to just stay fluid with my cross stitch. So another thing that I just wanted to go over with you guys really quick are some Flosstubers that I have been watching. I watch all the big Flosstubers, and you've heard me mention some. The Sunshine Stitchers, I just mentioned Just Keep Stitching with Pam and Steph. I watch 911 Stitcher, Stacy, love her. But some that, and I love Amy Loves Toads. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's been around for a while. She's here in Virginia also. Her name is Amy, and her channel is Amy Loves Toads. You got to check her out. She's fun. And Chrissy off the Finally a Farm Girl. I've mentioned her before. I watch her videos. But and another one that I've watched that's been around for a little while is but I've only recently found her 2 or 3 weeks ago, is Laura, and her Flosstube channel is Stitching by the Shore. I enjoy her videos. If you're one of my viewers that love Ada stitching, she stitches, I think, all on Ada or mostly on Ada. So check out Laura. Her channel is Stitching by the Shore. And then I wanted to give a shout out to somebody who's under the 1,000 subs club. She doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet, and I can't figure out why. And her name is Carolyn, and she's with Carolyn Stitches, is her Flosstube channel. I want to tell you, I found her a few weeks back, and she probably only has, I don't know, maybe about 14 videos, 14 or 15, probably about the same amount I have. But she, back in video number 2, one of the pieces that she was working on that really just struck me and I thought was gorgeous, and the work that she put into it, it was on video, her Flosstube video number 2 for Carolyn Stitches, Carolyn Stitches. And she did this picture of this with his antlers and all of these Christmas ornaments just hanging off of his antlers. And the fabric that she picked was perfect for that piece, and it came out gorgeous. And she does some really beautiful stitching. And she's also very, very active on Instagram as a fiber freak. She does some quilting and knitting. I believe she does knitting. I know she does quilting and cross stitch, maybe some sewing. But she has some beautiful pieces that she works on, and she does a lot of stitching. And she shows them on her channel, and it's just beautiful. But if you know her off of Instagram as a fiber freak, and you'll see her constantly posting things on Instagram also. She has some beautiful pieces. I know she's working on the Moonlight Sampler right now that just came out at this last expo. So I wanted to give her a shout out. Go check out her channel. And there's many, many more, but those are just a few. I don't want to sit here all day. So check out these Flosstubers if you're looking for somebody new to look at and check out. And if you know of anybody that maybe is out there that you have found that does really great videos, but doesn't seem like a lot of people get to their channel and stuff, let me know. Let me know. Leave it in the comments. It would be wonderful to. There are so many floss tubers, and sometimes I'll find somebody. I'll just be like on Flosstube, I'll be on YouTube, and it'll come up on my feed, and I'll see that the person's been doing videos for 5 years, and has like 7,000 subscribers. But I just found their videos, and I'm thinking, how in the world haven't I seen their videos yet? So I don't know how that works. How you just can't, sometimes don't see people's videos. So that is it for today. And I hope you guys have a couple of good weeks of stitching, and anything else you got going on. You might have retreats coming up. It's the fall. Here in the US, the weather's here is getting really gorgeous. The leaves are starting to change color a little bit, and it's just getting really pretty out. So I just hope you guys stay happy, healthy, and enjoy your stitching. And I'll see you. My plan will be to come back in a couple of weeks and give another check-in and talk to you wonderful people again. And so in the meantime, until the next time I see you, be well, be happy. Happy stitching.